It's the Market Day Report here on RFD-TV and Rural Radio, Channel 147, Sirius XM, and on the Sirius XM app. And right now, let's find out what's going on at the mill with Ben Hushon. Ben, it's always good to talk to you and get an update from your part of the world. A lot of folks now starting to really talk about corn harvest. What do you see out your back door?
Good morning, John. Out the back door right now, things are starting to dry down. We're seeing corn. I sent a few pictures in for the viewers, and it shows some corn starting to die down, some ears hanging. The thing we're definitely seeing maybe more of this year than most years, John, though, is corn dying down. We're seeing drive by a field and say, boy, that really is turned brown. And then you get to looking at it, and it's from the top down, from gray leaf spot and some of the many other diseases that we get when we are blessed with rain like we have been this year. Still, every week we continue to get 1 to 2 inches of rain at least once a week.
Have you had this rain then this last week, or is it going to looks like it's going to dry out?
It pretty much continues. Last Wednesday it rained all day into the evening, and then it's been pretty clear. Got another chance of some rain here midweek. From all the disturbances, I guess, down south. They're debating on whether we're going to see that sometime in the next couple of days. Certainly nothing to complain about, but it's just a little bit different every year, as it always is in farming.
Ben, we've got a few listeners and a few viewers that would like you to share that just a little bit.
One of the things that we mentioned last week, on Thursday, we had our annual crop showcase. And I'll touch just a little bit on it, John. I could go for an hour, so you're going to have to cut me off at the appropriate time. We had good turnout. We basically focus a field day on fertility. And one of the unique things this year, we have a grower, Ed Stanfield, who used to be a vegetable grower. Then he moved into sweet corn only. And he got out of that a couple of years ago, and he's moved that management style into his soybeans. So he's checking those soybeans once a week, and he came up, kind of coached us on pushing some soybeans, driving back through, putting 3 and 4 different applications of products on, tissue sampling, and it was a very well received by the best turnout I think we've ever had came, and there lots and lots of comments about never thought about walking in my soybeans once a week.
Yeah, those beans look terrific. Do most of the beans in the area still look that good?
They do, John. We've, as I mentioned earlier, and have told Marlon and Mark all year long, we have had just about ideal weather. In fact, quite a few growers told me last Thursday at our field day they believe their beans may be some of the best that they've had. Corn, a little different story. We had some heat in July, and I talked last week about the tip back, but beans, they're hard to judge. I wouldn't put them in the record books yet, but it looks like we're going to have a pretty good yield overall.
Ben Hushon with the mill in Whitehall, Maryland. Ben, it's always good to talk to you. Thanks for the photos and thanks for the update. We'll talk to you again soon.
John, hope your viewers and listeners have a safe week.
All right, thank you very much. When we come back from the break, we're going to find out the latest and all of the futures numbers. We're still ahead of that USDA report. So all of that and more comes up in just a moment here on the Market Day Report. Stay right where you are. All right, let's get you updated first on all of the futures, and we start with the live cattle trade here today. No interest yet in any cash trade, but the cash may be watching and taking its cues from the futures. December live cattle unchanged, 112.95. October is up 45 right now at 107.65. Still got quite a bit of a spread there. February live cattle down 3 at 116.52. September feeder cattle up 30 at 148.75. October feeders up 45 at 149.80. And October hogs down $1.13 at 60.45. December hogs down $1.73, or I'm sorry, make that 73 at 57.90. And February hogs down 33 at 63.35. On to the grain market we go with the corn first. And remember that USDA report out at 11 o'clock here this morning. Right now, December corn down 3.5, 3.54. July corn down 3.5 at 3.80.5. November soybeans, the new crop up 3.5, 963.5. January beans up 3.25, 973.25. May is up 3.25 at 990.5. December Chicago wheat up 0.5 penny at 435.25. March Chicago wheat up 3/4, and July up 0.5 at 484. In Kansas City wheat, it's December steady as she goes, 434 3/4. New crop July wheat up 1/4 at 483, and then in Minneapolis, December wheat is up 1 3/4 at 644. July wheat up 2.5 at 646. Well, the cotton market really has been something very interesting to watch recently. New crop December cotton down 91 at 71.20, and let's check in on those cotton conditions according to the National Ag Statistics report that was out yesterday afternoon. We start with the top 5 states: Texas, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, North Carolina. Texas was actually up 4% with good to excellent in that 55% range. Georgia says that 69% of their cotton is in good to excellent condition. That was up 4%. However, you can see where some of the rains have, and maybe even some of the other conditions have factored in here. Mississippi down 3%, Alabama down 2%, North Carolina off 2%. And some of the other states for cotton here on this morning, we've got California coming in at unchanged, Arkansas down 3%, Missouri down 5%, Oklahoma down 7%, Arizona down 4%, and cotton harvest is still progressing. In Texas, the 5-year average is 9%. This week we're at 16%. Arizona 7% wrapped up. Kansas just getting started in their cotton harvest, and this year they had quite a few more acres, particularly in that south central area where they saw a big increase in some of those acres. Louisiana, the 5-year average is 5%, but right now they're only at 1%. Once again, the USDA World Supply and Demand estimates will be out at 11 o'clock Central Time, and we'll have full details on that. I do want to pass along, before we get to that, just as a quick reminder, we did have a sale of soybeans this morning to unknown destinations at 132,000. Went to unknown destinations, and that was the new crop. But so far, that's not. The market is much more focused on what could be in this next crop report, and we'll have all the details on that.
And it's one of those occasions where they're going to be able to trade on those numbers immediately
as they come out.
Okay, thank you so much. Markets editor John Jenkinson.